Hello, everyone. This is Diaquilin. And welcome to our second self-love boot camp. And I'm so excited that you are going to be joining me. No one has joined me just yet, but I'm excited that you are going to be joining me. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes or a minute or so to see who logs in and join us. And I think if I can find somewhere to set up, I'm going to do live on Instagram. Need to find something that I can prop my phone up with. Wonder if this will work. Let's see. And no. See if I can do it this way. No one is here yet. I am going to get started. Checking connection. Hello, if you're joining me on Instagram as well. There we go. I'm gonna sit you right here. So I want to welcome everyone to our second self-love boot camp. And today we're talking about 3 different topics. And so it depends on participation, whether or not we will have breaks. So with that, welcome everyone to our Self-Love Bootcamp Live 2. And I'm excited about presenting you with these classes. So this is the second boot camp, and this one I felt was great for getting you going back to school. So for all of you who are going back to school, welcome. I'm happy that you're going back to school, and I know you're going to have an amazing year. And I'm so proud of you for being promoted to the next grade, for having an amazing year. I'm declaring that you're going to have an amazing year. And I know that your parents are going to be involved. And so it's just exciting. It's exciting to know that you're going to have a great year. So if you have not already, it's probably 1 or 2 posts below this live, and print out your self-love bootcamp worksheets. Okay. If you can't print it out, just work with me and write down what we talk about today. So our first session, we're going to talk about making a lasting first impression, making a good first impression. Now, if you were joining me live, I don't see anyone who's live either on Instagram or on Facebook right now. I would ask you, what is a first impression? First impression is just, when you meet someone for the first time and how they view you, what they think about you, what they think about your appearance and all of that. People say that first impressions are lasting impressions, and they really are. When you first meet someone, and I'm sure you do this, and you're young people, I'm sure you do this, that when you first meet someone, you look at them and you pretty much assess whether there's somebody that you like or not like, whether they're somebody that you could be friends with or not be friends with based on their appearance. And so when you are now going back to school and there are, making new friends and maybe doing new things, getting into new activities and just meeting new people, it's important that you make a good first impression. Now, your first impression is not a place for you to be fake. It's for you to be your authentic self. However, in your first impression, you do always want to put your best foot forward. In other words, you always want to put your best self forward, especially if you are older teens and maybe you are wanting to go on a job interview or things like that. What I'm going to talk about today matters. Okay. So I see someone joined us in Facebook. If you want to type in your name in the comments so I can know who you are, that would be amazing. So with that, first impressions are, like I said, lasting impressions. It is the what people perceive of you when they first meet you. Okay. And so through your first impression, you have the power. You have power. You have power to command your audience. You have power to command attention from people. You have power to to say something that really strikes a chord with people, especially when they are impressed with you. If they are not impressed with you, they probably won't listen to you. First impressions are so important. The way you dress, the way you look, the way you have your makeup on, the way you carry yourself, the way you have your hair, and everything about your appearance matters when you're making a first impression. And we're going to get into all of that in just a minute. So what I want to talk about is three things. And number one is when you begin to, when you consider making a first impression, one of the things that you have to realize is that you are a unique and you are a special individual. And so you always want to be your true self, okay? You always want to be your true self. Don't try to be like your friends. Don't try to be like someone else. Always be yourself. And when you're always being yourself, people will know. I'm sure you know when somebody's being fake and when somebody's being real. So when you're always being your true self, your true authentic self, then people will be drawn to that and they will appreciate you and really, want to be around you or, choose you over, maybe the person that they perceive from their impression that they're not being authentic, that they're not being real, that they are being fake. So that's number one, is make sure that you're being your true authentic self. And number two is know that you were made to be authentic and different. You're not supposed to fit in with everybody else. You're supposed to be you. You're supposed to be different. We all are human beings. We talked about this before. We all are human beings. We have the same functions, body functions. Everybody has eyes to see, nose to smell, mouth to speak, hands, limbs, and things like that. We all have the same functions, but we are all unique. They talk about how the snowflake, there are no two snowflakes alike. And it's the same thing with human beings. There are no two human beings alike. Yes, you may have a twin, and you may look like your twin, but guess what? You and your twin have different fingerprints. No two people have the same fingerprints. So with that, you have to understand that you were created to be different, or not different. You were created to be you. And if that means being different, then so be it. But you were created to be you. So that is what I want to share with you. Now, the last what I want to talk about is not being fake. There are so many people who will dress up and look a certain way to make an impression, and then the next day when you see that person, they are totally different than the person that you met the first time. So when you're being your authentic self, that means not being fake at all, to just really be you. Yes, you do want to put your best foot forward when you make a first impression, meaning especially young ladies who may be going on job interviews or, meeting new people for the first time. That's very important. You want to make sure that you are dressed your best and looking your best and things like that. However, to make a good first impression, when you're making a good first impression, you still have to be your true authentic self. Okay. So let me give you some tips on how to make a good first impression. How to make a good first impression. Number one is you want to you want to smile, 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 smile. Your facial expression, your body language, and we're going to talk about body language you're going to do a body language exercise in your boot camp workout. But your facial expression, it tells a lot about you. It really does. It shows whether you are angry, mad, worried, confused, not liking something, somebody. Your facial expression shows all of that. Remember when we had our first boot camp, and I talked about how when you're confident in who you're in yourself, you show up, and how if I came to this broadcast and I was hunched over, not looking in the camera, looking down, talking real soft, not really caring what I say, not even knowing what to say, and not really being prepared, and you wouldn't be interested in being here, right? So all of that matters, your facial expression, how you meet somebody. It is very important that you smile when you meet a new person. You smile. Your smile is your greeting card. It tells someone that they're welcome to interact with you. And if they're not welcome to interact with you, what happens is they feel that, if someone meets you, or if you meet somebody, let's think about if you meet somebody and they have this look on their face. What would you feel? You'll probably feel like, well, they don't really want to be bothered, so that makes you feel a certain way. And then you don't either you don't want to deal with them, or if you have to deal with them, you maybe are a little nervous because you don't know what they're thinking or anything. So when you smile, it invites a person to come into your world, and vice versa. When they smile, it invites you to come into their world or come into their space with interaction. Okay, so always smile. That's the very first key when making a good first impression, is smile and be friendly. The second is make eye contact. Make eye contact. Look at people in their eyes. And this is a part of the confidence that we talked about in our last boot camp. When you're confident in who you are, then you don't mind looking people in their eyes. You don't mind, being, I would say, assertive in who you are and saying, you know what, this is who I am, and I am engaging you with my eyes. I am paying attention to you. That's another thing that it shows. It shows the person that you're paying attention to them. Now, if they have a big pimple on their face, or maybe they have on braces, or if maybe they have something on their nose. Now, if they have something on their face, like, something on their nose, or maybe crumbs around their mouth, you let them know. You just do like this or do like this, and they should get the hint. But if they don't get the hint, just say, pardon me, or excuse me, you have something on your nose, you have something on your lip, or anything. But what I'm talking about is making eye contact. And when you make eye contact, don't focus on the big pimple, or maybe they have a mole on their face. Don't focus on the big mole or any flaws in their face. Focus on their eyes. And sometimes when people speak, you can look at their lips and just, pay attention to their lips, but mainly focus on their eyes, because as you're focusing on their eyes, you're telling them that they matter to you, that what they have to say matters to you, and you are engaging them with eye contact. And that makes a very good first impression. So another thing is a stern handshake. When you meet somebody, you want to, if you first greet someone, maybe it's a new teacher, maybe it's your new principal, maybe, you are again, for my older girls, if you're going on a job interview or something, you shake hands, but you give a stern handshake, not too hard that you squeeze people's knuckles and, make them just, hurt, give them pain, and not too soft where it seems like you don't care. Just firm enough to where you're just almost a small grip, just to say hello, okay? And you shake at least 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Hello, nice to meet you. Hello, nice to meet you. Hello, nice to meet you. So just 3 firm grips firm, but not hard and not soft, okay? 3 firm grips when you're shaking someone's hand. So a stern handshake, and don't shake too long. Don't just keep shaking and shaking and shaking, because in their minds, they're thinking about the handshake and not about you. It takes their focus off of you. So 3 pumps, 1, 2, 3. Hello, nice to meet you, 1, 2, 3. And let go, release. That's it. It doesn't take you to just keep shaking someone's hand. Doesn't take a tight grip, doesn't take a soft grip, because a soft grip means that they probably thinking in their minds, well, does she want to touch me? Does she want me to touch her? Does she want me to shake my hand? So yeah, always make sure that you are doing the handshake properly. It's so important. The next is introduce yourself. Introduce yourself when you're meeting someone new. Hello, my name is Diaquilin. It's nice to meet you. Your name is? That's how you greet someone. Hello, my name is Angela. It's nice to meet you. Your name is? Hello, my name is Aaron. It's nice to meet you. Your name is? Ask for their name after you introduce yourself. They may be the first person to say who they are, and then you say your name, okay? But always introduce yourself when you meet new people. And always try to remember a person's name. If you can't, just say, I'm sorry, can you tell me your name again? But don't try to guess, because when you tell people when people hear their name, that means that they are important. I remember this man's name. His name is Rick Portel. I still remember his name, and I still remember what he looks like, because I worked at a company years ago, and he would greet everybody by name. And guess what? I'm sure everybody remembers his name, because he would greet everybody by their name. Hey, Diaquilin. Hello, Angela. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Patrice. He would just greet everybody by their name. And that's important. People's names mean a lot to them. And you being able to remember their name will leave a lasting and good first impression with them. So make sure that you, when you're introducing yourself, that you say your name, ask for their name, but also remember that person's name, which is number 5, actually, is say the person's name. People love to be recognized and called by name. Always say their name when you're introduced to them, and then try to use their name in a conversation. That's also important. So you're meeting someone for the first time. Hello, my name is Diaquilin. Your name is? And maybe she's going to say her name is Patrice. It's nice to meet you, Patrice. So Patrice, do you go to this school? So Patrice, are you a part of the basketball team? So Patrice, are you a part of the cheerleading team? Include their name in the conversation, okay? Number 1, that helps you to remember their name. But again, it leaves an impression on them that they matter to you, okay? So say the person's name. That's number 5. Number 6 is positive body language. Positive body language. Positive body language. Not this. Hello, it's nice to meet you. My name is Diaquilin. Yeah. No, you want to have positive body language. Stand tall, shoulders squared. When you reach for their hand, you're reaching for their hand in confidence. Remember, we talked about confidence in Boot Camp 1. So you want to use that confidence and have that positive body language. That was why you had to do the exercise of standing in front of the mirror and saying your affirmations, because you wanted to make sure that your body language reflected what you're saying and what you're feeling about yourself. So when you have that confidence, then you're going to have positive body language, positive body language. This speaks volumes about you. Remember, I talked about your facial expressions. Your facial expressions matter. And also the way you, move your body matters. It really matters to people when you're making good first impressions. So be fluent with your body movements, not harsh and rigid, not, shaking your hand like this. No, just fluid body movement. That shows that you're confident. When you're rigid and hard and you're shaking their hand like this, it shows that you're scared, or that you are not really wanting to be there, you're not involved. So you want to just be fluid. Sorry, Instagram. You want to be fluid with your body movements. I'm gonna have to lift this up just a little bit. We're gonna get it straight. There we go. So be fluid with your body movements, and your boot camp workout is gonna reflect that as well. Also, no crossing your arms while someone's talking to you, rolling your eyes, or chewing gum and popping gum, or anything like that. You want to make sure that your arms are by your side, and no hands on your hip, head turned to the side. Somebody's talking to you about something important, and you got your hands on your hip, and you maybe patting your feet because you're not interested in what they have to say, or you don't care. No, show them that you care. Even if in your heart you don't care, at least show them that you are engaging in the conversation, and what they're saying you're listening to, and it matters. The next is image is everything. The way you dress, the way you smell, the way your hair looks, all of that matters. All of this matters when you're making a good first impression. This is why when people go to school, they want to dress their best, because you're meeting new people. When people go to job interviews, they dress a certain way because they are wanting to, get the job. So they dress a certain way to get the job. So here's a key: dress how you want to be addressed. Dress how you want to be addressed. Okay, dress how you want to be addressed, meaning dress the way you want people to respond to you. And here are a few tips. Make sure that your undergarments don't show. The reason why I put on this jacket, because I'm going to show you. You see, my strap and my bra are different, and I didn't want to put on my strapless bra because I'm at home. So I said, you know what? I could just put on my jacket so that my underwear doesn't show. So that's why I put on a jacket. So make sure that your underwear does not show. Also, wear matching clothes. You want to wear matching clothes and look like you are intentional about your appearance. Blue, I have on blue, so I wore a blue headscarf. I have on a blue dress. The blue dress has light blue and dark blue. I don't know if you can see it. So the light blue in my hair matches my dress, and then the blue jean jacket and the blue eyeshadow. So make sure that the things that you wear match. Also, wear shoes and socks and stuff like that. Also, no stains on your clothes. When you're trying to make a good first impression and you have a big stain on your clothes, guess what people are going to pay attention to? The stain. They're going to pay attention to the stain and not necessarily you. Okay. Let's see, what else? Don't wear your clothes too tight, and don't wear your clothes too baggy. I know that you are living in a time where there are certain types of clothes made, but you can still monitor that. And here's the thing too. Let me give you a key. It's one thing when you're trying to make a good first impression, or maybe you're dressing for school, but dressing for your friends is totally different. If you and your friends like to wear baggy clothes, that's fine with you and your friends. I'm talking about a setting where it's just good for you to put your best self forward. And so that means that if you're in school, you have to dress a certain way. Some schools you have to wear uniforms. Some schools you don't have to wear uniforms, but there's still a dress code. And that dress code is key for a lot of different reasons. But make sure that you dress appropriately for the situation. Again, dress how you want to be addressed, but also dress appropriately for the situation. Also, do not wear wild or multicolored hairstyles unless, again, it's the setting for that. So if you want purple, red, yellow, green in your hair, there's a place for that. That's probably with your friends. But when you're in school, because schools, I know here, schools have a rule that you can't wear, like blue and red and purple hair. You can only wear, I think, the different natural colors, different blonde shades and brown shades, but not colored hair. Um, Also, don't overdress. Always dress for the occasion. What I mean by don't overdress is don't if you're going to school, then you don't need to wear, unless your school is having a program, you don't need to wear a church dress with church shoes and your hair fixed up like you're at church. So you want to make sure um that you are dressing for the occasion. Okay, there's a certain way to dress for school, there's a certain way to dress for church, there's a certain way to dress for parties, there's a certain way to dress for, like I said, when you're hanging out with your friends. So dress properly for each occasion, and also smell good, but not overbearing. Don't put on too much perfume. Just put on just enough so that when you pass by someone or when you greet someone, they'll say, she smells good, but not, woo, oh my gosh, she got on so much perfume that they have to hold their breath while they're talking to you, or they can smell you coming from, a block away or down the hall because you have on too much. It needs to be just enough so that when people are in your personal space, they can smell, you smell good, but also not too overbearing to where you just overwhelm people with your perfume. So that is number 7. Image is everything. Make sure you have a great image. Number 8, and I'm not going to dwell on number 8 because we talked about number 8 in our last boot camp. That is just be confident. Be confident in who you are. Be confident that you know what you're talking about when you're talking to people. Be confident in, or shall I say, have Godfidence. Remember, we talked about Godfidence, God in you, causing you to be, do, and have certain things. So make sure that you have that. And when you're talking to people, know, you know what? God is with me. Anything that you have to ask me, I can answer. And if I can't answer, I'm going to say the smartest answer I know, and that is, I don't know. I am not sure of the answer. That's the smartest answer you will ever give because it's the truth. If you don't know, don't try to make it up, but have confidence. Be confident in who you are. Number 9 is listen and make the connection. Listen. Remember I said when you talk to someone, ask them their name and then repeat their name, but also make the connection. Oh, say you're meeting somebody in the mall. You hanging out with your friends and then you meet a group of people and y'all are just talking. And hello, my name is Diaquilin. What's your name? Oh, hi, Patrice. What school do you go to? And Patrice may say she goes to West Jefferson High. Oh, I go to that same school. Or, oh, I have a friend who goes to that school. His name is Paul. Do you know Paul? Make the connection in the conversations. Find something in common with the person that you're having a conversation with. It could be a teacher. You can be in school and you're talking with your teacher. It's the first day of school and you're talking with your teacher and your teacher says she has a daughter that goes to such and such school and maybe her daughter is a cheerleader and maybe you're a cheerleader. Oh, I'm a cheerleader too. Or maybe your best friend is a cheerleader. My best friend is a cheerleader. Find something in common with the person that you have having a conversation with. So what this means is listen to what they have to say. So you have to really listen to people. Again, this shows people that they matter. And when people know they matter to you, that's what makes a lasting first impression. The next thing is ask questions. Ask questions. What school do you go to? Oh, what does your daughter do? Your daughter's a cheerleader? My friend is a cheerleader. So that's how you make the connection, by asking questions. And make comments that are relative to the conversation, okay? If at all possible, make the connection. In other words, find a common ground and be able to talk to them about it. Attending the same school, knowing the same people, having the same pets. Maybe, they have a dog and you have a dog. Or maybe they have a cat and you have a dog, but you still have a pet. And you can talk about, what it takes to take care of your dog, or maybe what it takes to take care of their cat. But it's common ground, okay? Number 10, show a sense of humor. It's okay to show a sense of humor. Now, this doesn't mean every time that they quote unquote crack a joke and it's not really funny that you laughing just because. No, this means that if they say something funny and you think it's funny, you can chuckle, you can laugh or whatever. Because here's the thing, laughter is a beautiful way that we connect with people. Smiling and laughter is a great way to connect with people. We all smile in the same language, and we all laugh in the same language. We all cry in the same language. Those are three things that we do in the same language. You don't have to learn a new language to smile. You don't have to learn a new language to laugh, and you don't have to learn a new language to cry. We have those three things in common. Those are universal. So find something to laugh about in the conversation, or even crack a joke yourself, an appropriate joke that for the appropriate for the conversation. And that's it. Number 11 is be unique. And I talked about this, being your individual, unique self. And don't pretend to be like someone else. Just be your authentic self, because people fall in love with you. They don't fall in love with the person that you're trying to be. They fall in love with you, who you are. And that's what matters. And number 12. Now, number 12 only applies for if you are a young lady and you went on a job interview, or you went on an important interview where maybe it's an intern or a job or something on a professional level, and that is send a thank you card, send a thank you note. It was great meeting you today, Patrice. Thank you so much for interviewing me for Miss Patrice, whoever, Miss Patrice Johnson. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. And that's what you do. Okay, so that's how you make a lasting first impression. I'm going to give you those 12 again. Hey, London, you joined me today. Number 1 is smile. Number 2 is make eye contact. Number 3, stern handshake, not too firm, not too soft, and don't shake too long. Introduce yourself. Say the person's name. Number 4 is introduce yourself. Number 5, say the person's name. Number 6 is positive body language. Number 7 is image is everything. So make sure that you dress your best. Number 8 is be confident. Number 9 is listen and make the connection. Number 10 is show a sense of humor. Number 11 is be yourself, be unique, be authentic, be true to yourself. And number 12 is send a thank you note. Now, if you're talking on the phone, here are a few tips. When you're talking on the phone, articulate. Say what you're saying, but make sure that you are very clear in your words. And even in person, but especially on the phone, be very clear in your words and what you say. Like, I'm broadcasting live, and I'm trying my best to be very clear with my words and articulate what I'm saying, because I realize that there are some people who may be hearing impaired, or not just that, but the way it comes across to you is you're able to clearly hear what I'm saying, and it doesn't take away from what I'm teaching. Okay, so that's that. Make sure that you project your voice. And here's the thing about voice. If I was talking monotone and I was talking like this and really not put any pitch or tone into my voice, then you would get so bored. It would be like 5 minutes. You'd be like, nope, I cannot watch this because I don't like the way she's talking. Or if I talk really, really soft and you can barely hear what I had to say, then you wouldn't want to. So you want to make sure your voice projects, that you articulate, and that you control your pitch and tone, and that you go up and down, be fluent with your words, and go up and down. Yes. How did you get stuck? There you go. Put it in. Awesome. Whoops. And now I'm losing my Instagram again. And last is additional notes. No popping gum. Yes, you want to come up here? All right. We have a guest, Miss London Amore. No popping gum. No smacking your lips. No rolling your eyes. No looking at your nails while people are talking, because that shows you're not interested. No texting. No texting. When someone is talking to you, don't get your phone and start texting or Snapchatting or Facebooking or Instagramming or any of that. No, give them your undivided attention. So that's what we have in giving your first impression. So I'm going to end now, and we're going to be back at 10:45, which is probably 11:45 Eastern, 9:45 Pacific, and 8:45. Oh my gosh, it's 8:45 on the West Coast. So with that, thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us on Instagram and on Facebook. And we will see you in about 8 minutes. So see you then.